Good morning. I've got a crazy busy day today. I've got to teach karate tonight. I've got to take care of my kids. I got to go over to my mom's house. I got to help her out with a bunch of stuff. And I've got all of these trees that I need to get planted in the food forest down here, and then putting some up in the new food forest on top of the hill. And then I got some plants yesterday from Millmont greenhouses that I need to get in the ground as well if I have time. But I'm thinking I probably won't because I need to get to my mom's house ASAP. So I'm gonna do my best, go as fast as I can, but make wise choices. Let's see if that's a combination I can do. Okay, so when I ordered my fruit trees, my nut trees from all the places this year, I didn't plan where each thing would go. I just knew these are the things that I need, these are the things that I really want, and I better just find a place for them once I get them. So right now that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to figure out that place. Where do I put all the things that I ordered? And I'm pretty sure that I want to put the filiberts, the hazelnuts, and the almonds in my established food forest because right now I'm sure that gets the most sun. Later on, the food forest up the hill is going to get a lot more sun as we clear out some of those trees, but it is not as sunny as what my food forest is right now. So I'm definitely going to be putting those down here, and I think I have some room for a couple of the apple trees as well. So the other day I was talking about these purple flowers in my garden, and I forgot what the names were. And I knew that I planted these on purpose because I just love these flowers so much. And I couldn't remember what the name was. So I went and I looked it up, and it's moneywort or moonwort. No, money plant or moonwort. And I didn't know it as money plant. I just learned that, but I knew it as moonwort. And it is a medicinal, but it also is just like this incredible, beautiful flower that comes out early in the spring, and it makes these disc-shaped seed pods that are iridescent, translucent, white. They're skinny like a coin. I guess that's why they call it money plant, but they're just absolutely gorgeous, and some people dry them and use them in arrangements. But I'm excited to have them because of the flowers and the seed pods. So, and plus flowers in the garden is always a good thing. You can never have too many flowers, that's for sure. I also want to show you really quick how awesome this apple tree looks. Last year, this tree did not so well because the year before it had been eaten basically by a deer 3 separate times, and I wasn't quite sure if it was going to come back from that. And last year it kind of limped along, but this year it is really, really blooming. I'm super excited about this. The other apple tree that got hit the hardest is not doing quite as well, but it's definitely doing better than it did last year. So that's exciting. Hopefully this will come along and continue to come along. I've been nurturing them a lot with lots of comfrey, lots of duck manure, lots of really good beneficials underneath the trees. And then this is the other tree that got hit really hard. This is my one of my sweet cherries, and you can see that out of all the trees in my garden, this one is still basically kind of like a stick and a twig, and that's just because it got eaten almost down to the base here by a deer. It nibbled down, and continued to eat, and finally, on the 3rd time that the deer got into this garden, before I really put up some good fencing, it got down to right almost above the grafting point. So I hope that it continues to do well. Okay, so I'm going to put my hazelnuts on either side of my cherry tree up here, and then I'll put the almonds on the outside of those, and probably more this direction actually, because this is where more sun comes. I get a little bit more shade over here. So that's the plan for right now, and then I'll see what I can do about the other trees. all in. Now, I'm experimenting with close quarters planting for fruit trees. There's a better word for that, I know. So when I'm planting these, I'm not afraid to plant them in groups. So I got my 2 apples that are, maybe 36 inches apart, an apple and a pear that's about 36 inches away from each other. I'm not afraid to plant them close by to each other, especially in an area like this where I'm going to be keeping them pruned down so that it's easier to get the fruit off of them. I gotta plant one more raspberry. I got a black cap raspberry that I gotta get in the ground. And so I can get a whole bunch of different types of trees in this small area. I mean, this is not a very big garden. I mean, before I moved out here, this is a ginormous garden because before all I had to work with was like pots on a patio, maybe a little 10 by 10 bed, and not a whole lot. So, I mean, I am grateful for what I have. I think it's more than enough. But it's not like a ginormous orchard, Okay, I found the spot. Let me get you set up. It smells amazing over here. This is right next to my mint bed. And the ground is so soft here. I don't even have to use my shovel. Got my black cap in. And so here, let me show you how close I'm planting these trees. Okay, so here is my new apple tree. This is my Williams Pride apple. And then this is an old heirloom variety. The name is lost to me right now. But you can see, I mean, they're about 36 inches apart. So the idea behind that is, one, I'm okay with planting that there because I'm not quite sure if this established apple tree is going to make it. I mean, it really got hit hard by the deer last year, and it's still kind of struggling a little bit. We'll see how much new growth it puts on this year. And if it lives, I mean, that'd be wonderful. But if it doesn't, then I've got this new apple tree almost directly in its place. So it's not like I'm going to lose any habitat there. Also, when I plant them close together, I've already got all this comfrey and alliums and lupine, and I've got some moonwort and chives. Well, I guess that's an allium. I've got stuff planted around the base of the one apple tree that's going to just move over, or that's going to feed the soil of the tree that I planted right next to it. So the soil quality is higher around my fruit trees. And so I'm plugging this one tree into a really good spot. Another thing is when you plant them close together, the pollination is just, it's so easy because you don't have to hope that a bumblebee or, a honeybee or a mason bee or anything goes from one apple tree and then makes it over to your other apple tree, maybe, 10, 15 feet away. And doesn't stop at like a nectarine on the way or something like that. The chances of a bumblebee, I don't know why I'm using bumblebee, the chances of a bee hitting the one tree and then just kind of moving over just a little bit and getting the next tree and pollinating each other is very high. So you're going to get better pollination that way. Also, trees like to be together. And if you think about it, in the natural world, it's a forest, right? There's trees growing together, and oftentimes they'll be growing in tight-knit communities, right? So you'll see like a clump of trees together, and they do well that way. And it is very rare for you to see something like what a typical orchard would look like, where trees are spaced 30 feet apart, nothing but grass around the base of them. It's unnatural. And so, yeah, it makes it easier for, makes it easier to spray things. It makes it easier to mow around them. It makes it easier to harvest. maybe. I don't actually really believe that one. And maybe if you have a problem with pests, then it makes it easier to keep trees isolated so that the pests don't move around and go from one tree to another very easily. But in a food forest area, culture type garden, you are building up the immune system of your trees so much that even if they do get some pests, it's not going to debilitate them. It's not going to take out your entire crop. It's going to be okay. That's just the natural way of things. There's going to be some pests, and that's okay. In fact, if you get a fruit that has pest damage on it, it's probably going to taste 2-3 times more sweet, because the immune response from a fruit tree when it's trying to fight off a pest is actually to make the fruit sweeter. So that's just how it works. And so trees do really well. There's been studies done where when you group trees together that they do really well. And anyway, so that's what I'm doing. And I don't want to put too many fruit trees in here, because I'm also trying to grow things like blueberries, and I've got some bushes coming up like pomegranate, and there's flowers in here, and there's herbs in here. And if I just fill the entire thing with fruit trees, I'm not going to have enough sunlight coming in to hit those other fruits and vegetables and herbs that I want growing in here. So keeping them clumped together is a great way to kind of keep some open area as well as conserve space. But I think it's going to look really beautiful, and I'm super excited about this. So it just gets better every single day that I come out here. So I can't do much more today. I did get all the fruit trees planted. I got the nut trees planted, and I got my berry bushes planted. I have a new area where I'm going to be putting a bunch of raspberries. We are not blackberry people. We don't really eat blackberries, so I didn't order any blackberries. But I have a new area where I'm going to be putting raspberries, and that's going to be kind of along the fence line of the lavender garden. And then also I've got to plant my sugar maples and then my service berries. And I have a specific place in mind that I want to put the service berries. And then I've got a couple of linden trees that I want to plant. And those are pretty much going to go near where the sugar maples are, because that's just kind of like a forest tree, canopy tree. So got those in. Now I have time to go help out my mom. She's got company coming over this weekend, so we got to hang some curtains, and then we also went to Millmont Nursery yesterday, and she got most of the plants that she wanted for my dad's memorial garden that she's planting, and so we got to get that all moving, progressing. It's not going to get planted today, but we're going to start working on it a little bit more than what we have been doing, just preparing the beds and such. There's a couple of things that I do want to show you though. It's that time of year again. And I had somebody comment on one of my videos that I did of the mushrooms last year, and or maybe it was an Instagram post that I did. Oh, by the way, you can find me on Instagram and Facebook at Faye Hollow Homestead. But I've got mushrooms coming up, and I was told that I can go ahead and harvest as much as I want and eat them, and they will continue to grow back, which is super exciting. We had an incredible rain last night, and so look what's coming up. This is so exciting. These are wine caps. I'm not going to harvest them today. I'll probably harvest them tomorrow. Oh, they're just so beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. There's 4 of them right there. Let's see. You can see some more pushing up the mulch over here. Look at how beautiful they are. Wine cap mushrooms. The wine caps inoculated themselves in my food forest into my mulch. I'm really excited. I didn't have to do anything for them, and I love mushrooms so much. So this is a gift given to me by the mulch and the rain, and I'm excited to not have to do anything in order to get these mushrooms coming up in my garden. Once it really starts getting into the rainy season here, I mean, we're gonna have mushrooms popping up everywhere. I mean, it looked like we had alien invaders last year. So I'm excited, and we didn't harvest hardly any last year because I thought, oh no, I wanna make sure that the spores spread and that I inoculate everything, and we keep getting some good stuff going on. But apparently that's not the case. Apparently I can just eat them, harvest them, stuff like that. So that's super exciting. So the fruit trees that I planted, or the nut trees, I put an almond right here. And then I put a blue elderberry there. And then I put my other almond right here. And I stuck my big hazelnut right there, and then I put one more hazelnut right over here. And then the other elderberry I planted right here. And so the idea is, in this area right here, I don't care if it shades out the chicken coop. So I don't want to shade more than I need to in the food forest, though, because of all the strawberries and the bushes and things like that growing. So I'm very okay with planting a bunch of stuff right here, and I don't mind planting close by each other because high intensity fruit tree planting, nut tree planting is a good thing in my book. Tomorrow I'll be able to plant these guys. Look at how tall these sugar maples are. They grow so fast. I'm very excited about that. And then, it probably all looks like weeds, doesn't it? But it's not. These are all things that I planted, and it's just filling in. It's just, what a beautiful place. What an absolutely gorgeous, wonderful place. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope that you get a chance to get out in the garden if you can. If you like this video, please hit the like button and then subscribe to my channel. And if you do subscribe, then you can hit that notification button too, and then you'll be notified of when any new videos come out, which should be almost daily. So have a great day and stay blessed.